Hello, my name is Jordania Alves from Federal University of Amazonas. I will present the paper Entrepreneur Perception of Fish and Seafood Consumption in States Affected by the Oil Spill on the Brazilian Northeast Coast. In Brazil, the year 2019 was marked by major environmental tragedies, among which the biggest environmental accident in Brazilian history stands out: the oil spill on the northeastern coast. The damage associated with the accident could be seen and felt with the death of fauna, the impact of estuaries, mangroves, tides, beaches, and coral reefs, and as well as the significant and lasting socio-economic impacts on tourism and fashion. It's necessary to evaluate the perception of the establishment's owners regarding the event. The fishing activity and consumption of these products are of great relevance to the economy as well as to society survival. In this way, the objective of this research is to analyze the perception of entrepreneurs about the consumption of fish and seafood after the oil spill on the beaches of the northeastern Brazil, as well as to analyze the economic impact arising from this problem. The methodology had 6 steps, beginning with bibliographic research, the structure of interview elaboration, validation of the interview application, data analysis, and conclusions. The sample plan of the study was defined as non-probabilistic, with sampling by accessibility due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The collection was carried out through WhatsApp and Google Meet. Thus, a maximum limit of respondents was not established, and the interview ended when the time limit was reached. The interview was applied in the Northeast region and as a criterion for inclusion in the research, restaurants should sell fish and seafood. Thus, 15 restaurants authorized by the letter of consent were part of this study, where interviews were conducted with owners and managers. The application period lasted from August 30 to October 18, 2021. The project was approved by the Research Ethics Committee from the Federal University of Pernambuco in February of 2021. The interview script was divided into 4 parts: the interviewers, social demographic profile, company characteristics, business behavior, and entrepreneur. Perception of fish and seafood consumption after the oil spill, as shown in the rest of the presentation. The questionnaire had 33 questions. The 4 parts of the methodology of the questionnaire was part 1, social demographic profile of the interview, question 1 to 4, part 2, characteristics of the company, question 5 to 10, part 3, organizational behavior, question 11 to 17, and part 4, entrepreneurial perception of sales and fish and seafood dishes after oil spill, question 18 to 33. As literature review, we made big research, and here we bring some concepts and the reference. The main concepts, they are the oil spill at the sea and its impacts, quality of service, consumption behavior in environmental disasters. Results and discussion. The main characteristics of the restaurants participate of this study, we can see in the next slides and this one, and you can see that 53% of the restaurants are located in the state of Pernambuco. 47 are traditional fish and seafood restaurants, and 53.4% have been in the market for 10 years or more. As for the average annual revenue, 53.4 earn 20,000 United States dollars or more annually, with a staff for 9 or less 53% of staff. And here we have the table that shows this with the variable state, Bahia, Pernambuco and Paraíba, type, traditional beach restaurant, Japanese restaurant or delivery, existence time between 2 to 3 years, 4 to 7 years, 7 to 10 years, 10 years or older, average annual revenue, and the values, employer chart, the number of employers that they have. Regarding the answer to the open questions, entrepreneur in the 3 states buy fresh fish and seafood from local fishermen, large wholesalers located close to their restaurants and specialized companies. Dishes based on fish and seafood common in participating establishments in Bahia are dourado, moqueca, crab shell, broths, shrimp, fish bait, lobster, and mariscada. A dish made up of various food such as oysters, squid, and shrimp. For the state of Pernambuco, the most cited are shrimp, lobster, yellow hake, fish, salmon, and dourado. In Paraíba, red snapper, guarajuba, and shrimp stood out. The average daily sales range from 120 for American dollar for micro enterprise to 30,000 United States dollar for larger restaurants in the 3 states. The fourth part of the interview is composed of questions related to the sales of fish and fruits after the oil spill. Questioned about the average amount of these products in stock when the accident occurred, the response range varied from 30 to 150 kilos. Regarding the behavior of sales, according to the responses, for 47% of the restaurants, sales decreased in the range of 20 to 40%. In 7% of the restaurant, sales stopped completely, and for 46%, no changes were noticed in sales. For the restaurants that had sales drops, representing about 54% of the sample, the period of low demand for these products was between September 2019 and January 2020, staying around the 4 months, but there was no decrease in the price of the dishes. When asked if sales have already normalized, the answer was positive for all restaurants. Faced with the crisis, strategies such as the diversification of menu were used, including products based on vegetables, freshwater fish, meat, and chicken. In addition to the use of social networks to clarify the origin of the products or show the function of the kitchen. As for the change in customers' habits, the interviewers stated that there was a change where the demand for meat and chicken dishes was evidenced. To attempt to make customers ingest seafood-based dishes, the arguments used consisted of showing clarification notes from the suppliers and explained that the products were in stock before the appearance of oil. Most of the time, this argument was not effective and led to the non-consumption of these products. Faced with this accident, most restaurants had to reduce their staff about 50% where it was necessary to bear the cost of dismissal and carry out new internal management, with new divisions of tasks, for example. Concerning the damage faced by restaurants that suffered the impacts of the oil spill, Reports shows that the main loss were related to the number of products in stock, loss of human capital, and a drop in the sales of these products. Finally, it was asked about the biggest challenge faced by these establishments. In most of the answers, it was the formulation of a new menu, working with a reduced number of employees, trying to convince the customer, or showing the products were still cooked to prove that there was no oil. In some cases, the suspension of restaurant activities happened intensified by the pandemics in 2020. Given the reports obtained, it was found that the smallest companies were the ones that suffered the most, and they did not have a strategy to overcome the crisis. Moreover, another interesting point is that even in the face of the accident, some restaurants that are part of the research did not feel and change the consumption of fish and seafood, since one of the main sources of information was the television, which received information from the responsible government agencies, and the information on the assured quality of the products was acquired by the suppliers. From the results of the interview, in conclusions, it was seen that 57% of the restaurants register a change in sales, which a drop between 20 and 40% in the sales of these products, leading to negative consequences for the restaurant business. Given the results presented, it's clear to the study's objective was achieved. In this way, this work presents academic importance and the relevance of greater monitoring and control by the responsible bodies to prevent oil spill at sea. In this way, there will be no negative consequences on nature and the whole society. In this context, the study guides society regarding the consumption of fish and seafood, taking into account food safety. Therefore, restaurant owners need to know the consumption behavior of consumers and work with strategies aimed at meeting their needs, in addition to understanding the perception of consumption in the face of environmental disasters. This work is in line with the objectives established with the 2030 Agenda of United Nations Brazil for Sustainable Development, with emphasis on responding to item 14, life on water. In addition to contributing to other items through the efficient management of resources available in nature, as well as in quality of life. The study was financed in part by the Coordenação de Aperfeiçoamento de Pessoal de Nível Superior, CAPES, do Conselho Nacional de Desenvolvimento Científico e Tecnológico, CNPq, and the Fundação de Amparo à Ciência e Tecnologia do Estado de Pernambuco, FACEP. Thank you. Any questions? Questions can be